we'll get to the reason I'm bringing up the Trump-Putin bromance here pretty quickly. But before we get into that, need to talk about the storms, massive storms pounding the Gulf region and the southeastern United States, Carolinas, Georgia, Florida. Helene was devastating, and before they've even had time to barely pick up any pieces, here comes Milton, coming in currently at a Category 5 as I've been watching. So anybody in the path of that storm, I hope you can get to safety. That's more important than anything. It's definitely more important than making political dumbfuckery about these storms. Like the baby shit orange oaf. Shortly after Helene, FEMA was asking President Biden, Vice President Harris, and Trumpty Dumpty, please don't come down to the Carolinas. Let us get a little bit more cleaned up, because if you come down right now with all the media circus and all your security needs, you're going to hinder the cleanup. So please give us a few days. Of course, Biden and Harris respected FEMA's wishes, and of course, Trumpty Dumpty went straight down to the Carolinas to stand behind a weird thigh-high partial brick wall. I don't get it. I don't get it. And then he goes on TV and spreads this lie.
So we're into almost $300 billion for Ukraine, and yet they're offering people $750
for immediate needs.
For the worst, but for the worst hurricane that anybody's seen. But more importantly than that is they don't have the people. They're not doing it. It's a very bad thing.
How would you do it differently?
I'd have a tremendous team of people here. They don't have any people here. The people are all, I was in North Carolina yesterday. I was in Georgia. And Georgia's different. You have a good governor. He's doing a very good job. But North Carolina is a disaster.
What a crock of bullshit. The $750 checks were for people, the victims of these storms, to get some bare essentials, to hold them over while FEMA reviews their applications to get them real money and to, start repairs and start rebuilding their lives. It was about having a team. It was a good team there. I would have had a team I would have had all the teams, all the best teams. I would have had the A team. Mr. T, he would have punched the storms. No, asshole. And let's talk about how victims of natural disasters were treated during your fucking shit stain of a presidency, where you multiple times, when a disaster happened, like massive wildfires in California, you wanted FEMA to withhold funds from states that voted against you during disasters. You were supposed to be a president for all Americans. You were a president for a few dozen Americans. No one else. Yourself was the top of your list. That's not what the job entails. You never got that. You never will, because you're a whiny little man baby who gets butt hurt at any disagreement or dissenting opinion So anyway, you know, there were again, you're withholding fund, and again, here we go with Project 2025. It is right in Project 2025. They want to, if not completely defund FEMA, restrict funding to FEMA, and also, again, restrict FEMA from going out to help Americans after natural disasters if those Americans happen to live in a blue state. Tell me that ain't some Hitler shit. So he wants to claim that Kamala Harris, the President Biden, by the way, he keeps saying Kamala Harris isn't helping. Kamala Harris is not president yet. She's still got a couple months till Inauguration Day. She's got 28 days before she kicks your ass. Dumb fuck. If you're drinking along this evening, by the way, enjoying 2 fingers of Fireball cinnamon whiskey. Cheers. And then let's talk about Mr. America First. I would put America above everything. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not a puppet of Vladimir Putin. Blah, 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 blah. Well, it's funny because we're getting reports. Bob Woodward, you know, of All the President's Men fame, got played by Robert Redford in the movie. Damn. That's a reference that's going to go over a lot of youngins' head, but it's a good movie. You should seek it out. Anyway, Bob Woodward has a new book out, and there's bits about his last few books have been mostly Trump. This time he has Trump and Biden anecdotes, but he has a verbatim phone call between Trump and Putin after Trump was no longer president. And it turns out that in the 4 years since Trump lost, Trump and Vladdy have been little phone buddies. Check this out.
But there's also some notable news about Donald Trump in this book. There are new details about former President Trump's relationship with Vladimir Putin. Specifically, the book reveals phone calls never before revealed between Trump and Putin, including a verbatim conversation where they discuss that Trump secretly sent to Putin scarce COVID testing machines for his personal use. This was at a time during the height of COVID where everybody wanted one of these. And we actually have, Woodward has the conversation between Trump and Putin in the book. Here's what they said. Putin, please don't tell anybody you sent these to me. Trump, I don't care, fine. Putin, no, I don't want you to tell anybody because people will get mad at you, not me. They don't care about me. Woodward also writes that a top Trump aide, Pamela, told him that Trump had as many as 7 phone calls with Vladimir Putin post-presidency since he left office. We do not know what the content of those calls were.
Fascinating, but just the fact that he obtained the transcript.
Correct.
Mr. America First. During the height of the pandemic, when the fucking COVID tests and machines were rare, the height of the pandemic, which Mango Mussolini fucked up the response to so badly that the CDC determined that there were 400,000 preventable American deaths from COVID. That happened because Trump dropped the fucking ball while he was worried about maybe shoving an ultraviolet light up your ass, or drinking some, I don't know, some disinfectant, maybe snack on some Lysol wipes, 400,000. And while these Americans are dying, thousands by the day, hospitals, urgent care centers, first responders, desperate for these COVID tests, don't get them because Mr. America First gifted them to Putin, because Putin, Mr. Superpower Strongman, I ride horses with no shirt, was terrified of COVID. Mr. KGB poises anyone that looks at him sideways. Got the heebie-jeebies from the Rona. And Mr. I didn't bow down to Putin gifted him COVID supplies. I gotta say it again, GOP. This your guy. This fucking guy. That's your guy. That's the best you got. Nobody else. How many Republican Congress people and senators, governors are there? Could have put up this cycle? Anybody? Anybody? I mean, if you needed a whiny man baby for the ticket, you should have nominated Ron Douche Santis, who currently, while Milton is barreling down on his state as a still Category 5, after they just got hammered with a full-on Category 4 for the first time since the pre-Civil War era, refused a call from Kamala Harris. She called to offer Florida help. He wouldn't take the call because he's a whiny man baby. He's going to get people killed. All to be able to stand there in his little cowboy boots with the 3-inch lifts so he could pretend he's taller than Tom Cruise. And he's going to look Floridians in the face and say, I stood up to VP Harris, as people are getting blown out to sea. Because I got to own the libs. Now I'll smile. So again, Trump, Putin, the bromance, not only does it continue, it never ended. Probably 7 phone calls between them since Trump left office unwillingly in January of 2021. Wonder what they were talking about. Wonder if it had anything to do with some certain documents stacked around a couple toilets at Mara's shithole. What do you think? All right, kids, like and subscribe if you would. I'd appreciate it. If you want to hash anything out, comment section is where we do it. Until then, make sure, again, vote blue. Vote blue. We are less than 4 weeks from Election Day. We need to vote blue like the democracy depends on it, because it really, truly does. Don't believe me? Again, Google Project 2025. You don't need to read all 900 pages. Just got to read highlights. That's not America that they're trying to pass off if Trump wins. So do your research. Vote accordingly. Harris Walls 2024, kids. Until then, until next time, be good to each other. Be safe. Cheers.